Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are building Souron the Dark Lord, but the only sets that I'm allowed to use are the Lord of the Rings sets and any precon that has been built. The only reason why I say any precon that's been built, because the card pool was not big enough for me to build Sauron out of just the Lord of the Rings precons and set. So let's see if we can figure out if we can. So any set. So what we're gonna do is, all right, cool. So 2011. Oh, well, that stinks. Definitely was a part of the plan. So let's start with the Lord of the Ring cards. Since I can't do multiple sets, I have to do it one set at a time. So let's just do this. Search. All right, cool. This is big enough for you guys to read too. So, let's add the 9 Nazguls now. Hey, back. Thank you for the subscription. You're a wonderful human being. Let's see. I mean, you're gonna go in here. You're just a good card. Mount Doom. Lord. This is the Oh, I get it. Well, thank you. So what made you change it? Nazgul. So we're gonna add 9 of these. And then, wow, they're $10 each. That's crazy. I see. Makes sense. I'll give you a follow right now. Shaboosh. The crazy part is it's an uncommon. All right, so I got my 9 Nazguls. Actually, there's one more person that I want to look at. I forget his name, but he is. Oh, that's right. This is. I mean. All right, let's. The One Ring. And that has to go in the deck. All right, so let's start at the top. Quick, the creature gets. All right, I should probably read Sauron before we get started. So Souron the Dark Lord is a 6 mana 7/6 legendary creature avatar horror. He has wards, sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass one orc 1. Whenever an army deals combat damage to a player, that the ring tempts you. And then whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. So he is just a good card altogether. All right. I mean, that just seems suitable. Add you. Let's see. Ardul's Flame of the West. Equipped creature gets +3/+1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, create 2 tap white spirit creature tokens with flying. The creature is legendary. Instead, create 2 of those tokens that are tapped and attacking. Doesn't really seem like it would fit what I'm trying to do. 3 red and X. Amass orcs S, then goblins. And orcs you control gain double strike and haste until end of turn. Alright. To amass orcs X, put X +1/+1 kind of on an army you control. It's also an orc. If you don't control an army, create a 0/0. Oh, then goblins and orc. Okay, I read that. Okay. Okay, I'm picking it up what's put down. It's not the greatest. Borrowed blade. Borrowed blade. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 whenever it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature. That creature loses all abilities until end of turn. Becomes blocked. It deals 1 damage to each creature blocking it. When Bilbo retired burglar enters the or leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever Bilbo deals damage to a player, create a treasure token. I'm gonna put him in the list just because I have a feeling my options aren't gonna be that great. Bilbo's ring. As long as it's your turn, equipped creatures have equipped creature has hexproof and can't be blocked. Whenever equipped creature attacks alone, draw a card and lose life. Okay. Bill Fenry, free swindler. Becomes blocked, choose 1, create a treasure token. Target opponent gains control of target force you control. If they do, remove Bill Fenry from combat. Create 3 treasure. That's flavorful as fuck because that's hilarious. Draw a card, the ring tempts you. Yes, please. This card's really good. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature that was dealt damage this turn. Destroy target creature, its controller loses. Ew. Mass orcs. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain menace until end of turn. They cast this spell this turn as though it had flash. What? Oh, okay. Draw a card. Oh. See. Breaking of the Fellowship. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to the target creature that player controls. Alright. Let's see. Draw a card, then discard a card. 2. Cast into fire deals 1 damage to each up to 2 target creatures. Exile target artifact. Flavorful as hell. Not gonna lie. 1 gold. Control. Sacrifice another creature. Draw a card. If it was an instant, I would probably use it. I am doing well, Sean. How are you? I am building Sauron, but the rule is I can only use Lord of the Rings sets and only precons to build this deck. So my card pool, not great. What's going on? Sorry to hear that. Hopefully I can make your night a little bit better. Council's Deliberation. Draw a card. Whenever you scry a card, if you control an island, you may exile graveyard. If you do, draw a card. Good enough. Spell can't be copied. Copy any number of target instant or sorcery spells. You may choose targets with copies. That's interesting. I'll put you in the maybe pile. You sound like a fun card. Target creature has base power and toughness. Yeah, I feel ya. I haven't been able to stream very much lately because I have to work full time now because I have a car payment. And it's been making me not super happy. You gotta do what you gotta do to... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully my stream can make your day just this much better. We'll see what we can do. When Dunlin Urbane enters the battlefield, amass orcs 2. I could go into like the full like amass whatever. Or another creature enters the battlefield and you control Sky. What? This is the second time it resolves. The ring tempts you. It's an interesting idea. I mean, sure, why not? I'm just gathering cards right now. There's really no idea of what the deck's going to do. I'm just reading cards that can go in the deck right now. An Elvish Mariner attacks Scry 1. Whenever you scry, tap up X target. The number of cards looked at while scrying this way. And drop Basin. On target creature with power X. Activate sorcery. Whenever one or more other attacking legendary creatures you control die, untap all creatures you control after this phase. There's an additional combat phase. Whenever it attacks, you control. If you control a creature with greater power, when creatures on the battlefield, create white soldier. Well, if you ever need to talk about something like that, you're more than welcome to talk here. I'm very good at listening and things like that, so whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So I was thinking about trying to make some sort of like Stormish build, because I think you could do like you could easily start looping spells and things like this with the whenever the ring tempts you, you discard your hand and draw 4 cards. But I just don't think there's enough storm cards. I would love to have the ideas. So as I said, the rules are has to be from the Lord of the Rings set, or it has to be from any precon that's been built. Like pre-constructed deck anyway. Destroy target artifact or land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. When Fires of Mount Doom enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Destroy all equipment attached to that creature. Exile the top card of your library. You may play a land. You may play that card this turn. When you play a card this way, Fires of Mount Doom deals 2 damage to each player. That's cool. Flame of Anor. Choose 1. If you control a wizard as casts a spell, you may choose 2 instead. Target player draws 2 cards, destroy target artifact, and Flame deals 5 damage to target creature. Yeah, I was gonna put a lot of the I was gonna put the 2 Sarumans, the Saruman of many colors, and probably Saruman the White. I don't know exactly what Saruman the White does. But yeah, I'm just going down the list. Once I get to the S's, he'll definitely find his way in. Sorcery for 4, amass orcs 2. When you do, foray of orcs deals X damage to target creature and opponent controls, where X is the amass power. Hey, Souls, how are you? You're probably right. I would have to look. Once I get through this, remember Nightscape Familiar, because that will be really good in this deck. Because, I mean, it goes great in any Gruul deck. Or, not Gruul, Grixis. Gandalf, Friend of the Shire. May cast sorcery spells as though they had flash whenever the ring tempts you. If you chose a creature other than Gandalf the Friend, Shire, as your ring bearer, draw a card. That seems good. Yeah, no, I feel you, brother. I've been up since 6:30 this morning, and I also work all day tomorrow. So this won't be as long of a stream as it usually. I would say as usual, but like just the fact that I'm streaming is a freaking miracle at this point. Oh wow. Ooh, good for you, man. I'm happy for you. Y'all have to keep me updated on that, you know? Gandalf Sanction deals X damage to a target creature where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. Okay, I'll remember that when I get to the use as well. Gandalf the Grey. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may choose one. The one that hasn't been chosen. May tap or untap target permanent. Gandalf the Grey deals 3 damage to each opponent. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. May choose new targets for that copy. Put Gandalf on top of its owner's library. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if he'll stick around, but I definitely like that idea. It does sync. It's not chosen his turn, so you'll eventually have to put him on top of your library to kind of start that wheel again. But whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, Gimli deals 1 damage to target controller. I said, yeah, this was my grandma's. Where that came from. She lives about an hour and a half away to drive. We planned along the way, so we drive around like 10 a.m. We spent most of the day there. Nice. Yeah, no, I actually had a family reunion on Saturday, and we had to drive. It was 3.5 hours there and 3.5 hours back. We did it all in one day. Yes, deflecting. Yes, deflecting squat would be a very good card for this deck. So deflecting squat and Nightscape Familiar are 2 cards I need to remember. Yeah. Let's see. Equipped creature has first strike and gets +1/+0. Each instant and sorcery card. I don't know how many instants and sorceries I'm going to be running though. Dwarf Emissary. Sounds great. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure. Go target creature. See, like, that's awesome. Glorious Gale. Counter target spell. If it was legendary, tempts you. Seems good. No! Stop. Alright. Goblin Assailant. He's just a 2/2 for 2. Goblin Fire Leaper. Gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent controls. Goldberry River Daughter. Move a counter of any kind not on Goldberry from another target permanent you control onto Goldberry. Move 1 or more counters from Goldberry to another target permanent you control. If you 2, draw a card. Alright. When he leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. He's a 3/1 for 2. Sacrifice a creature. Return from your graveyard to your hand. Zoop. Golem's Bite. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Exile from the ring tempts to activate only as a sorcery. That's great. Golem's Scheming Guide. When Scheming Guide attacks, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put them back in any order, then choose a land or non-land. An opponent guesses whether the top card of the library is the chosen kind. Reveal that card. If they guess right, remove Golem from combat. Otherwise, you draw a card and Golem can't be blocked this turn. Oh, when he attacks. Okay, that's a pretty cool card. Why not? Gorberg Menace Mongol. Whenever a goblin or orc you control deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. When you do, choose one. Draw a card, create a treasure. Solid, maybe. We'll put it in the list. Whenever Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant enters the battlefield, amass orc 1. Creature tokens you will have death. +4. Let's see. Great Hall of the Citadel. Add 2 mana. Spend this mana to cast a legendary spell. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. Your opponents can't gain life. Sacrifice another creature. Target player loses 1 life. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, amass orcs 2. Barsh, Instigator. Oh my god, I can't read. Enters the battlefield, amass orcs 2. When you do, until end of turn, gain control of target non-legendary creature and opponent controls with power less than or equal to the amassed creature's power. Gains haste until end of turn. I don't know. As long as your turn, if you control an army, creature. 4 mana for a 5/5 trampler that's not always a creature seems bad. Beginning of combat on your turn. Another target creature you control gets +1/+0 until on the turn. When Haunt of the Dead enters the battlefield, scry 1. Return Haunt of the Dead from your graveyard to the battlefield. Tap. Activate. Only if you control a legendary creature. View of the Entwood. Sacrifice any number of lands. Reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands sacrificed this way. Choose any number of artifacts and or land cards revealed this way. Put all non-land cards chosen this way onto the battlefield, then put all lands cards chosen this way onto the battlefield tap. Then put the... Oh my god. You know, that looks like it would be pretty cool for my Windgrace deck. So, ew. That's got me interested. Tap target creature, scry 1, draw a card. When Horn of Gondor enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Create X soldiers. The number of humans you control. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attacks a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from into your hand. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library. Forces of return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hand. Try 1. As an additional cost for the spell, sacrifice an artifact or a creature. Does 4 damage to any target. Inherited Envelope. enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Add 1 mana. Sure. Untap another target permanent. Untap 2 other target legendary creatures. Isildur's Fateful Strike. Legendary instant. Destroy target creature. If its controller has more than 4 cards in hand, they exile cards from their hand. Difference. Well, we're definitely going to need some islands. Isolation at Orthan. Put target creature into its owner's library, second from the top. Dies, draw a card. No, I have not. Knights of Dol Armora. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a counter on it. Which is battlefield. Then draw. Whenever it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, the owner shuffles it into their owner's library. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice it or pay for destroy target creature. That's cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. Flash Menace. Whenever enters the battlefield, exile target creature card from an opponent's graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Then create X treasure tokens where X is the exiled creature's power. That's a cool card. Lauren revealed. Draw 3 cards. Island Spike. When you scry, put a verse counter on Lost Isle of Falling. I'm not gonna be doing all. When March of the Black Gates enters the battlefield, and whenever an army you control attacks, mass. Okay. Menace. If one or more +1 counters would be put on army, goblin, or orc, you control that +1 counters on it instead. Ah. Whenever Mendor Swift Savior deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own and return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Binds of Moria. Just battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Add red. Exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Create 2 treasure tokens. Whenever you create, sacrifice a token. Oh, that's interesting. That card seems pretty good. Scry 1, then draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. Mithril Coat. Flash. Indestructible. Enters the battlefield. Attach to a target legendary creature you control. Ooh, that's cool. It's like Darksteel Plate, but 100 times better. Yeah, that's the problem with my build constraint. I was hoping like with the advanced search, right? That I would have been able to like put more than 1 set in at a time, but I can't. And like I could do it from my phone pretty easily, but the problem is then you guys can't see it and then I'm just typing and talking. That's not good enough. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. That's orc 1. I mean, not quite what I would want. Morgul Knife Wound. Creature gets +3, -3, -0. And up. Exile this creature unless you pay 2 life. Oh, I'll get sub 35 land. Oh, God. Oh, no. Warrior Marauder. It's a 1/1 double striker for 2. Whenever a goblin work control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. We'll definitely need mountains. Mount Doom. Pay 1 life, add a black or red. Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent. Sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. Choose up to 2 creatures and destroy the rest. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, I that rule's something different for me, you know, like I just do whatever I feel is necessary. So like I have decks that have lots of removal, and then I have other decks where it's like, oh, I only have like 5 pieces of removal. I just do it like I just want to have fun, you know? So that's like the whole motif that I have when I do Commander with randos. Like, dude, let's have fun. And it's not fun if you're stopping other people from playing. Yeah, like I have a Garth One-Eye deck. Check out my YouTube channel and look for the episode where I talk about it of my AZA Commander podcast. And that deck has a lot of removal. Yeah, well, I mean, it's mono red, so yeah, that'll do it. Sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. If the sacrifice creature was legendary, draw 3 cards. I mean, sure, I will generally have an amass token. Hopefully I'm tempting enough that I will always have legendary. Whenever you scry, stop. I'm not even going to bother. Alright. Oath of the Grey Host. You and target opponent each create a food token. Each opponent loses 3 life. Create a treasure token. Create 3 tapped white 1/1 spirit creature tokens with flying. Oliphant. It's a 6 mana 6/4 with trample. Whenever it attacks, another target creature you control gets +2/+0 gains trample until end of turn. What up, Brochacho? Took you long enough. Gosh. The time that I do stream, you're like 45 minutes late. Olg Hay Crusher can be blocked unless you control Goblin or an Orc. The One Ring to rule them all. I mean, I'm putting it in the ring tempts you. Then each player mills cards equal to your ring bearer's power. Oh. Destroy all non-legendary creatures. Oh. Each opponent loses 1 life. Each creature card in that player's graveyard. That's a cool card. Yeah, I would love to see you next time. And you have a wonderful night's rest. And hopefully I will stream on Thursday. And hopefully I'm playing this deck that I'm building. So if it doesn't get finished tonight, I'm going to Bass Pro Shop Thursday in the afternoon with Thursday morning with my kids. And if it's not finished, I might be able to stream and finish it then. And I'll have, like, when I do finish it, I'll have a better idea of cards that are in precons that I can search up. Alan, I'm really mad at you, by the way, catching a bigger bass than me after I leave, you little turd. the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on Plantier of Orthonac and Scry 2. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. If that player doesn't, you mill X cards, where X is the number of counters on this. That player loses life equal to the number of counters. So wait, so it's either I scry 2 and draw a card. Wait. So put an influence counter on it and I scry 2. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. If that player doesn't, you mill X cards, where X is the number of influence counters. And that player loses life equal to the number of mounting value. Oh, yeah, that's cool. It's like, what's the name of that card? Combustible Gearhulk, but every turn. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast instants or sorcery spells. No. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, draw 2 cards instead. If you would gain life and you have less than 5. Oh. It's an interesting card, for sure. But I don't really plan on ever having 0 cards in hand because of my commander's ability. Trust the enemy. Return target spell or non-land permanent to opponent controls to its owner's hand. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying. Wait. What? That's cool. Oral's End has additional cost. Card a card. Draw 2 cards and create 2 1/1. Create a 1/1 human soldier. Rally at the Hornburg. Create human soldiers. Deals 2 damage to any target the ring tempts you. I mean, it's a sorcery, but like, I'm looking for ways for the ring to tempt me, and it could be like if it's I deal 2 damage to any target, discard my hand, draw 4 cards. It seems pretty good. Enters the battlefield, gain control up to 1 target creature with lesser power, or as long as you. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Relentless Rohirrim. Enters the battlefield, the MCU. Ring Sight. The ring tempts you. Search your library for a card that shares a color with the legendary creature you control. I don't want tutors. When ring wraiths enter the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-3 until end of turn. That creature is legendary. Its controller loses 3 life. When the ring tempts you, you return ring wraiths from your graveyard to your hand. It costs 6. Like 6 mana for a 5/5. When it enters, I give something -3/-3, and I can return it to my hand when the ring tempts me. Creatures you control have haste. Legendary creatures control get +1/+0. I mean, haste is always good. Just the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Scry 2. Creature. Sure. No, snap. Row Lancer. And when it dies, the ring tempts you. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. If it's a goblin or an orc, it also gains haste. Sam's Desperate Rescue. Turn target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. The ring tempts you. Maybe. I mean, you're my commander. Garmon's Trickery. Counter target spell. Mass Orcs 1. 2. Saruman the White. Ward 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, amass Ward 2. Seems like a suitable card. Choose an opponent. They look at the top 4 cards of your library and separate them into face down piles. I'm not going to do this because it's just the way I play. And it sucks. Alright. The Lidless Eye. Enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature and opponent controls until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste on the turn. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Each opponent. I mean, it's a threat and effect, and it's a. I mean, it's another version of Sauron. I have to think. Like a 10-minute deck build. That's impressive, sir. Then attacks. Exile the target creature card from your graveyard. Create a tapped attacking token that's a copy of it, except the 3/3 Black Wraith with Menace. Beginning of your next end step, exile that. Unless Sauron. I'm assuming it has to be specifically Sauron the Necromancer. But Scroll of Isildur. Gain control of up target one target artifact. I mean, tap up to 2 target creatures and opponent. Put a stun counter on it. Draw a card for each that creature target opponent controls. Shadows of the Enemy. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and mana can be spent as though it will not get mad, actually. My bot's super friendly. Shargarat Loot Bearer. Yeah, I'll have to look at that in a minute. Once I get through this list, yeah. Attach up to 1 target equipment on it. And amass X, where X is the number attached it. Tyrant of the Shrine. Activate. Oh yeah, that's the weird, like, land thing. Until end of turn, create food. Oh, I mean, it might pop up. I'll see what happens. Shire Scarecrow. Add 1 mana. Only once each turn. Ad nauseum. Yeah, that's a good card. Smite the Deathless. Does 3 damage to any to target creature. Creature loses indestructible until end turn if that creature die. Oh. Oh, I see. Yeah, it might pop up because it will probably just cover the window that I'm currently looking at. I know. It's kind of disappointing. Non-token to its owner's hand. It tempts you. Spiteful Banditry. Just a battlefield that deals each creature. Whenever 1 or more creatures your opponent's control dies, create X treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Create a treasure token. That's cool. And it's a board wipe. Let's see. Stern Scolding. Counter target spell with power. Creature spell. Wizards, if you're watching, please do that. That would be great. Equipped your creature gets +1/+1. +1/+1 in haste. At the beginning of each combat, untap equipped creature. Equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocking a goblin or an orc. Stone of Urch. If a creature an opponent control would die, exile it instead. Exile target player's graveyard. Draw a card. Storm of Sauron. I mean, I'm not going to read it. It's just whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. Except the copy isn't legendary. You may choose new targets for a copy. Wowza, that's a cool card. Surrounded by orcs. Amass orcs 3, then target player mills X cards, where X is the amassed army's power. I think this card's hilarious. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna need Swamp Haze. Swarming of Moria. Create a treasure token. Mass 2 orcs. Orc 2, sorry. Alright, the Belrog. The spell costs 1 less to cast. For each permanent sacrificed this way. Haste. The Belrog can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. When the Belrog dies, destroy target artifact or creature an opponent controls. 5 mana, 7/7. A legendary creature an opponent control dies. The Belrog put on the bottom of its owner's library. Good gracious. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. Then shuffle any number of target cards from your graveyard into your library. Add 2. The Black Breath. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Ring. Let's see. There's Battlefield Scry 1. Tap and cast the legendary creature spell. What? Legendary creatures in your graveyard. I don't want to see people. See, the only reason why I would say I would want wizards in here, because then they're looking at my content and then they can sponsor me and I can do all sorts of cool things. Because then they could pay my car payment and then I wouldn't have to work at Domino. When Malthus enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards, then amass Orcs X, where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in that player's graveyard. Oh, that's cool. The One Ring is a 4 mana indestructible. The One Ring enters the battlefield. You cast it, gain protection from everything until end of turn. The beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burn counter on it, and then put a burn counter on it. Draw a card for each burn encounter on the One Ring. Let's see. There and back again. 5 mana, up to 1 target creature can't block for as long as this ring tempts me. Search your library for a mountain card, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle. And create a Smog 6/6 legendary creature token. When this creature dies, create 14 treasure tokens. Good God. I mean, that's cool. I just want a Smog token. The Torment of Gollum. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. Player discards it. The Watcher in the Water. Trailblazer Blitz is really good. Whenever you draw a card during your opponent's turn, create a blue tentacle creature token. Whenever a tentacle you control dies, untap up to 1 target Kraken and put a stun counter on to 1 target on-land permanent. Wow. Treason of Isengard. Put up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, top of your library. control of Khazdoom can be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Uglag, the White Hand. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Uglag. White Hand, if you control a goblin or an orc, put 2 on instead. Orkai Berserker, which is battlefield. The ring tempts you. 6 mana for a 4/4 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a food token for each creature sacrificed. When War Beast of Gargaroth or another creature enters the battlefield with power 4 or greater, pass to Willow Wind. The battlefield scribe 2. Witch King, Bringer of Ruin. Whenever Witch King, Bringer of Ruin attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature with the least power among. I mean, sure, you're cool. Witch King of Angmar. Whenever one or more creature deals combat damage to you, each opponent sacrifices a creature that dealt damage to you. Turn during tempts you. Discard a card. Gains indestructible until end of turn. That's cool. Alright, so we finished looking at this. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Yeah, I thought it was going to happen that way. Real quick. Oh, sweet. Anger. Alright, so I'm going to type cards in here for me to remember. Anger. Blood Artist. I mean, how many sack outlets am I going to have? Oh, right. Oh. Oh! Goblin Bombardment. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, yeah. So we have. Alright, let's go through your list because this is gonna be a little bit easier. Oh, that's right, he wasn't a precon. I mean, why not? Okay. I might have to go on this. What precon was he in? Oh. No, not Dockside. I was talking about Zulaport. Night. Familiar. Let's see. Oh. Animates? That's right. Yo, this is fucking clutch. Fast and Flame. Uh, spot. I think I put nasty in. I'll write it down again. No, we're not. Oh. Yeah. Right. Uh. Dom. Uh. Reaver. Whenever a creature and opponent controlled. I didn't see that card. Goblin Bomb. A dark. $30 lands. Good gracious, my dude. What's the blue black wraith? Do you know what I'm talking about? What are the what are the Nazgul? Yeah, I saw that. I saw it too late though. Um. Uh. Yeah, sport. Um. Okay. Uh. I'll. Siganet. Um. I'm assuming like Rakdos, Signet, and stuff were in the precons, right? Uh. Um. Right. Uh. Lamp. They'll excess non-combat damage. Oh, that's not. Uh. All right, let's go back to the deck list. What do we got here? You have 85 cards. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna end stream now because I work open to close tomorrow, and we will continue this Thursday afternoon. Then I'll play this deck Thursday night. So until then, see you later. Deuces, y'all. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And Sean, I hope I made your night a little bit better. Don't boo me. I work freaking open to close tomorrow. So from 9 a.m. all the way until midnight. So eat a dick.